Hi, today we're going to talk about best practices, video blog module 8. There's a lot of information in research articles and online describing the best practices for distance education. I focused on the best practices for distance education for grades K through 12 because I teach 9th through 12 in high school. I currently also teach technology. According to the article I read, Greenberg 1998, the overall goal of distance education is in creating a virtual learning community by using 5 of the best practices. These practices are: 1, to develop competence; 2, to develop a shared, understood goal; 3, to develop a formal and informal environment; 4, to develop shared spaces for creation and manipulation; 5, to develop multiple forms of representation. As a current technology teacher, the first best practice mentioned is one I tried to look at: to develop competence. This is the key to success of any technology or online class, I personally feel. What this refers to primarily is being able to acquire the technical skills, computer skills, use of modem, and computer software skills needed to take your class. I feel this applies to both the student and the instructor. If you do not have the basic computer skills, you will not be able to succeed in an online distance education course. You need to get these prior to joining online environment for education. Distance education includes a wide spectrum of technologies used to teach and reach students. According to the article, Competencies for Online Learners, there is an increased need for both users and providers to better understand successful online learning. The Board of Standards for Training 2019, training for the students and instructors should be a prerequisite for any distance education class. As I mentioned prior, this should be coming first. Distance education and technologies are changing every day. The students and instructors should not be unrealistic when realizing they may have to get updated training or learn a new technology or find out about a new software program. The more willing you are to be creative and use trial and error in the creation of your class or during your class for new technologies, the easier it will be for you to be able to adapt as an instructor, also as a student. Best practices are meant to assist schools in planning distance education activities regarding the electronically offered courses, and to provide self-assessments from frameworks for those who already are involved or those who are just starting. In reading about best practices, I feel that many apply to my personal theory of learning in distance education. In addition to the first best competency practice mentioned earlier in my discussion by Greenberg 1998 of developing the competency, I also feel that the article that outlined principles needed for effective online teaching, we are spot on, Magna 2019. They mention everything from show up, teach, establish, proactive course management, strategies, have a plan for the unplanned, and more. When dealing with technology and distance education learning, as an instructor and a student, you need to have set goals, yet you also need to be able to know that there are unplanned events. Things happen all the time. Poor internet connections, softwares that don't work, technologies that have changed, malfunctions and whatnot. That all being said, as long as you are willing to adapt and go with the flow and learn your new practices and new technologies, I feel that that's the best practices of all time. Thank you.